Kelly?
We are now being recorded.
Okay.
so
Okay.
you're aware.
Okay.
So stop talking about your husbands.
My,
He doesn't get on social media either.
I was gonna say, mine won't be watching. Yes. it's
And the
great.
monitor's clear, is that?
It has its mind of its own. I asked
Sorry.
Patrick, I said, so what do you think? He said, well, maybe it's the Wi-Fi, because it takes the Wi-Fi here. I said,
Oh,
That could be.
Makes sense. My neighbor's is a Tuesday.
it's
All right.
Tuesday.
Yep. Why do I ask?
Why do, so is that what you had for dinner?
Yeah. So if I run out of here. Why did I ask?
but you did.
I know.
Good mom.
That's right, you're good.
Something like that, there's things to take a picture of.
Let me see.
So Aiden loves
Yep.
sushi.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
So when he comes to my house, then all of a sudden he wants to junk food.
oh.
His dad won't eat dairy with the grandma used to roast.
Oh.
My kids like to go to East by Southwest just because they like the chopsticks stuff, because they like sushi.
Next time I'm at Sam's Club, I'll get you like the 500 pack. They can eat
I
all
was
of it.
I'll eat every meal.
There you go.
Pizza.
Chopsticks, steak dinner, and Funky Dodo Jeff.
Yes, Jeff.
He's hilarious.
Jeff is Jeff.
We laughed. And Janet
I
and
have-
Nancy were with him. And they're.
I'll catch you up later.
Yeah.
We met with the seniors today. We met with the seniors today. It went pretty well.
They're good people.
The parking lot's filling up.
Yep.
No, he was great. It was
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Let us know he's not happy with it.
There you go.
How the board.
Made your day.
How would they just never say no
He can take it.
to anything?
Yeah, I thought so. I think so.
Cool. That was a good meeting today.
Yeah, we're getting places.
Thank you. Are you working?
Yeah, I felt like telling JJ, you don't like our organization. Let's talk about
What's
your
so
organization.
interesting?
Maybe you guys should.
Oh,
What's happening?
Hi.
really?
Yeah, we've had.
Like our Heritage Days here.
Yeah.
Oh, son of a gun, my parents are
Uh-huh.
leaving that weekend.
I'm just really looking forward to this EMT class being over. It's next Saturday.
Is that your test?
Because
Well, I've got a test this Saturday, and then I've got a test next Saturday, and then I have to actually
I have
go
it
to
in there, yeah, my
Farmington
parents
for
are in town that
Wow.
written
Thank you.
test.
Well,
Do you,
offering, no, I
have you already done your
Spider.
ride-alongs and stuff?
No, you don't have to do that to get your certification.
You know?
Ours doesn't have a web. And
I went
can't
on my
find the
ride-along, and
spider.
that's when I said, I
But
am
about
not gonna do this.
3
'cause it was in
o'clock,
Albuquerque.
I
It
can't ride in
crawls
the back of
right
a
over the
ambulance
camera and my phone just flips out or somebody's on.
I'm doing
in
this
front
for
of
the
doorbell.
skills.
And it's a freaking spider. And so every
God,
morning I go
Brett and
outside
I
and I'm like,
found
where's
out.
the
I was like,
spider?
so when do we do to find Joe?
I guess I'm gonna have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning when it goes off and go out there.
Sorry.
Spider.
I figured you guys were all like, safe though. I mean, the body was outside. Yeah.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I figured you were responsible, but I didn't know who was.
Get
I
rid
drove
of that
by that
spider.
in the, I mean, I wasn't there at 1:30, but in the morning I drove that way and I saw you.
You should, this one right here squealed this morning.
there.
Cool.
Katie, at a spider. Now she smashed it. That's fine. It was chasing her.
I know that we have it on the agenda for tonight, and I was like, Jesus. Yeah.
She smashed it. After she made some
That
noise.
worked, meeting. Yeah, nope, whatever you need to do, I will
Yeah,
support you.
Consider me for other things, but yeah, my parents are totally coming into town.
How are you, Michael? Oh, another day. Oh, isn't this crazy? How do I know it? What the hell?
Your Honor.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good.
What's going on?
I know.
Well, it's
Crazy.
Weird couple days. But
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if we do or not, but we're gonna have like a moment of silence or something.
I'm gonna do a
It's
public
been a
statement.
lot of years
And then they're holding
since we've had
I have a public statement prepared.
Yeah, okay.
And then there's a community-wide candlelight vigil that I'll announce.
Yes.
Good. Yeah, that,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
how you doing? Good. Doing okay.
I got her email.
I'm sure I got it.
Did you read it?
We have, one individual.
I am good. Yeah. It's been a, you know,
Busy? Busy?
weird couple days.
Because we did a little search on the properties and there's a tenant. So
Ooh.
You know anything about it?
Tired.
I knew nothing about them. I wouldn't get my Corey's tired.
I was like, whatever you wanna call me. I
So
was
you don't have it. So that'll be like the end of your weeknight meetings too? You just have 2 Saturdays now?
Yeah.
Or
Well, I
classes?
have
Like a.
Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday,
Okay.
and then
And
Tuesday,
then-
Thursday, Saturday. So 6 more classes and then this.
I don't know if they.
But I did not know I was signing up for.
Little league
I just
teams
didn't,
or do
I don't
they-
remember what doing a class was like, and it is a lot of reading and studying.
Maybe not base.
I actually, I didn't pull it out tonight.
No,
This is my
Brown.
freaking
Where would
book.
that be then?
maybe on.
Is
Durango.
Brenda planning on being here?
Lovely.
And then this is the,
Oh, there she is.
the other book.
EMT.
Yeah. Oh, yeah? Well, as soon as I'm done with class, you can use these as, risers.
They don't like your phone book, I guess. Lori said you can have her EMT book. She's almost done with it.
I was thinking about stealing your sign and just putting your number across there. Your phone number.
No.
I talk to people and I don't know who the hell
I
I'm
know, I
talking
was
to.
like, we're having a conversation, all of a sudden you're like, and who is this? Like, seriously, David?
I knew it had to be
Did you get that?
right here.
Yeah. I'm calling from a California.
This meeting is being recorded.
I wonder where my,
I didn't know about it, but I mean,
I don't have one.
I hate the anonymous.
If it says anonymous, I
No.
don't even dignify it.
I'm like, I wonder where it went.
That's crap.
Yeah. How does
Somebody else got it.
it either came to your house or to here?
Well, not here.
At 7.
Yeah.
You'd still rather be at 7. I personally would be at 7.
Somebody got my address wrong.
Well, it's really hard for me.
Or I'm there
You know, in a place like you.
I don't know.
I mean, that's a dream.
Oh, that is frozen.
Be a manager or anything.
Right,
I finally got mine. I got my letter. Is there a recycle bin around?
Yeah.
We have a few.
You didn't get that one? Just kidding.
Yeah, I was like, I just was like, oh, I got mine this week. Oh, circular file.
I know.
Choose a front, whatever you think is best.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, let it go.
I think that's. Do we still have quite, we don't have very many people that attend VSM.
Planning commissions to. So much to do.
Always another reference. What's that? And they made sure that they sent it from Denver.
Oh, I know.
I don't know.
Let me show you. This is my favorite. There's like a little
Yeah, I don't know.
library, library.
Maybe it's just random clip art.
Yeah, Google pissed off.
Right. Microphone.
Yeah,
Chicken.
yeah, pissed off. Me.
Yeah, yay, Mom.
What do we got here? Packet.
I think my stepdad likes it more when I come than my mom does because then she actually like cooks it usually. It's like funny.
Come on. Where is it?
And then that's when they stuck you in the basement.
Next time, they're home.
Nobody should be. Right. It's just weird.
You know, whatever. You just don't know.
Everybody all ready? Is it 6:30 yet? Barely. All right, I'd like to call this meeting to order dated Tuesday, August 3rd, 2021. It is 6:30 p.m. Roll call, please.
Trustee Black.
Here.
Trustee Dallison. Here. Trustee Joswick.
Here.
Trustee Moreland.
Here.
Trustee Politis. Here. Trustee Cesaro.
Here.
And Mayor Tarkington.
Here.
All present.
Please all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, does the board have any conflicts of interest to announce at this time?
There is one thing for the Rotary Club, and I need to recuse myself.
Okay. Noted. Before we jump into general public input, I would like to make a statement about the tragic events that happened on Monday. You know, as a mayor, this was certainly a call that I never expected to get, especially in our small town. My heart is broken for everyone involved, and especially for that young woman who had her whole life ahead of her. My thoughts go out to her family, her friends, the Bayfield Marshal's Office, the first responders, and all other local law enforcement that had to witness this tragedy. If there's anything I do know about this town and this community, it's that we're really good at rallying around those who are hurting most in times of need. I don't expect anything different this time. So with that being said, I know the community is holding a candlelight vigil tomorrow night at Eagle Park at dusk. So I just wanted to put that out there for the community.
What time did you say?
At dusk. So 8:30-ish. All right, opening up to general public input. Does anybody have anything to say not pertaining to items on the agenda? Step on up to the microphone, state your name and address.
Surprise, surprise. Phyllis Ludwig, 9205 County Road 521. I'd just like to report the board on the senior centers did have a meeting today with Katie, some of the town staff, and the mayor. And we have solved a lot of the problems we were having, I feel, and it's a work in session, and we will keep going forward. We've agreed to have some regular meetings, and I'm hoping everything will come out clean as a white sheet. So thank you very much.
All right. Step up to the microphone. Name and address.
Hi, Charlene Johnson. I live at 251 Clover Drive, better known as the Pine River Valley Manor, one of the seniors from way back there. I want to agree with what Phyllis said. Katie took quite a beating a couple times today. We respect her for the answers we got. We were frank. She was frank. You were very helpful too. But one of the things, and I just putting it out there to the board, one of our board members and past town council member wanted to remind you guys, have us remind you guys that you are a town council for the people. And sometimes, and I will be honest, some people feel like you are a yes council right now. So please, I just want you to know what some of the people are thinking, because for a while we felt railroaded by Katie, but we did have a good meeting today. But I do want you to know what some of the people are thinking.
Good evening, I'm back again. My name is Lucy Stewart and I live at 128 North Appaloosa. I want to thank Dave Black for stepping in and helping me get my issue resolved. Also, Public Works has been great. Jeremy and Eric went to my house and looked at what needed to be done. This is a meeting that Jeremy and I have had with TRC for I don't know how many hours, how many days, but it is resolved. My road doesn't have the big puddles. We had a good rain this afternoon. The grass is growing in, and they backfilled where the water meter was at, and they took the rocks and the dirt that were against my chain link fence. The water does flow through the ditch. So I do want to thank these people for coming out and doing the great job that they did. And thank you all for your time.
Thank you. Good to hear.
My name is Kendra Lines. I live at 58 Blue Ridge Loop up in Forest Lakes, have for 13 years. Also worked at Mercy for 13 years, and I would just like to provide some words of support for the affordable housing project. I know that increasingly it's become difficult at Mercy to find people to fill nursing positions because of lack of affordable housing in the area. And I hear that it's a same situation over at Animas Surgical Hospital, which leads me to believe that other occupations such as mine that make about the same amount of money, policemen, firefighters, teachers, the things that make our community strong and great, they must be having a difficult time too. You know, I know that it's possible for those people to go to another community and commute, but I think in areas like that where you're providing kind of a community service to people, it's really great to be part of the community that you're working in. And I think it affords better candidates for those positions if they can manage to live in that community. So I think it's a great idea. I think it's a national problem, and I think that it's really ahead of you know, what most people are doing, that this small town is thinking about doing something like that. And I just think it's a wonderful idea and it should go forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I agree with everything she just said, but that's not actually why I'm here. I'm here with these guys. I was at the meeting this afternoon, and I think we are getting the issues resolved, but we still have major heartburn over this deposit issue. The word I have used for it is extortion. And I think what I heard this afternoon was that Phyllis has personally paid the $100 deposit so that the seniors can use the center on Tuesday. And I think we're working out the deposits for Wednesdays and Fridays. We are able to use it currently from 11 to 1 for the senior lunches, which are a county service. But if we want to use it before 11 or after 1 p.m., which historically we have used it from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., we have to pay the deposit. I think we're probably going to end up doing it, but have major heartburn about that. And also, I had to go to a meeting of the Pine River Heritage Society, which is a lot of the same people. It's basically seniors who keep that museum going. And our finance director, who is also the finance director for the seniors board, is working on the contract to use the old gym for the Heritage Day kickoff on the last Friday in September. And he has some major issues to hash out in the contract, but my issue is that he is being quoted a deposit of $50, and we are quoted a deposit of $50 per day, or of $100 per day. So I would like to know what's going on with that.
Do we have any other public input? All right, did everyone get a chance to look at the agenda?
Madam Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that the board approve the agenda as written.
I would second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Black.
Yes.
Trustee Dallison.
Yes.
Trustee Joswick.
Yes.
Trustee Moreland.
Yes.
Trustee Politis.
Yes.
Trustee Cesaro.
Yes.
And Mayor Tarkington.
Yes.
All in favor.
All right, did everybody get a chance to look at the regular meeting minutes from July 20th, 2021?
Yes, Madam Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the July 20, 2021 minutes as presented by the town clerk.
I'll second that.
All right, any further discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Black.
Yes.
Trustee Dallison.
Yes.
Trustee Joswick.
Yes.
Trustee Moreland.
Yes.
Trustee Politis.
Yes.
Trustee Cesaro.
Yes.
And Mayor Tarkington.
Yes.
All in favor.
All right, did everybody get a chance to look at the work session roll call and attendance from July 26, 2021? I would entertain a motion to,
I would move that we recognize the July 26, 2021 work session board attendance.
I'll second that.
all right, roll call, please.
Trustee Black.
Here, or
Trust-
yes?
Trustee Dallison.
Yes.
Trustee Joswick.
Yes.
Trustee Moreland.
Yes.
Trustee Politis.
Yes.
Trustee Cesaro.
Yes.
And Mayor Tarkington.
Yes.
All in favor.
All right, moving on to department reports. Public Works. Jeremy, do you have anything to add to your report? Does the board have any questions for Jeremy? Got off easy this time. Marshall McIntyre.
Yeah. Unfortunately, early Monday morning, this community was rocked by a horrific and senseless tragedy. And 2 families' lives have been changed forever. To Jada, her family, and her friends, on behalf of the Bayfield Marshal's Office, we want to give our sincere condolences, thoughts, and prayers to the family and friends. We want to say thank you to this community and staff and town board for them reaching out to us to make sure that we're okay. And I also want to say thank you to all the responding agencies, Upper Pine Fire, Colorado State Patrol, La Plata County Sheriff's Department, and the Colorado Bureau of Investigations. Their help and assistance in this is greatly appreciated. We have a long ways to go, but just as the mayor stated, if I know this community will all pull together and support each other to come through this incident. So, thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Oh, I didn't know that was coming. All right, moving on to our town manager. Katie, do you have anything to add to your report?
I don't have anything to add unless you have any questions.
Board have any questions?
Just a comment. I want to thank you for including the article on the senior center from the Herald. That was a good read. Very informative. And in the middle mile broadband application, you said something about running into some interesting issues.
So
Care
the
to
interesting
expound on that?
issues is the Southern Youth Tribe is working on broadband infrastructure as well. It's a different concept. They call it Spark. It's SPARQ. And it's a different concept in the internet. And so DOLA wanted us to see if we could coordinate with the Southern Ute Tribe. And so we're coordinating, maybe not in the manner that the tribe had thought about, but we are doing that. So Jeremy and I are working on those coordination issues. Like I said, they're a little unique, but we'll figure out if they can't use what we already have in the ground, or if they go their own way and they would put basically a conduit or their own system right next to ours. So DOLA wanted us to have a meeting with all of the ISP users in the county, and when I talked to Miriam, she said, that is just not going to work because it's private business and there would have to be a non-disclosure agreement before that even happened. So like I said, it's interesting public-private issues, and of course then our Southern Ute Tribe and the county's working on it, the town's working on it. So.
Miriam
excuse me just a second. When DOLA made that request, was it a request or was funding contingent on getting something going with the tribe?
It seemed to be, but after we just had the meeting with the Southern Ute Tribe, and I kind of updated Virgil Turner, who is kind of he's the contact for any broadband application to DOLA. He then suggested the meeting with all the ISPs, and he felt like that we had done our due diligence.
Okay.
In that respect, but then the ISP meeting, he said, would be very difficult to pull off.
And you've been in contact with him about that?
Yes.
Good, thank you.
Talking with Miriam about routes and things like that, because I know it had come up earlier, talking about the location of corridors and conduit in the ground and such. And we don't have available to us a map which has that information available. But she was going to work to put together a map which would allow us to know what conduits where and who it belongs to, so that we kind of have an idea of where we're trying to get connectivity to and from.
Okay, any other questions for Katie? Moving on to our Economic and Community Engagement Coordinator. Beth, do you have anything to add to your report?
I do not, Madam Mayor.
Anybody have any questions for Beth? All right, moving on to our financial agenda items, sales tax. Do we have any questions, comments?
The sales tax, I recreated those bar charts that we had before. Kind of came up with a different model, especially because you haven't seen these for quite a while. Back to January, and you have May's report, and then you have January through May, and then on the next sheet is kind of a spreadsheet of all those different figures. So in the next couple years, or actually the next couple months, you'll actually get those bar charts every month. I'll walk Kathy through how to actually create those so that you have that information. Our sales tax is very strong right now. It's 17% over last year. And of course, it was about that much from 2019 to 2020. And then you also have the sales tax for La Plata County and the town of Bayfield as well.
Yeah, thank you for that. That makes it easier for my reports at the Alliance.
And just looking at that also gives us an idea that or at least gives us a clue that we have more money coming in than we thought. It's very helpful.
All right. Any other questions, comments on sales tax? All right, did everybody get a chance to look at the July 2021 disbursements?
Madam Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to accept the July disbursements.
Second.
All right, any further discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Black.
Yes.
Trustee Dallison.
Yes.
Trustee Joswick.
Yes.
Trustee Moreland.
Yes.
Trustee Politis.
Yes.
Trustee Cesaro.
Yes.
And Mayor Tarkington.
Yes.
All in favor.
All right, moving on to the June 2021 financial statement.
So in my experience, I've been accustomed to having a finance director do a detailed or a brief report on the finances, basically outlining any exceptional revenue increases, decreases, or expenditure increases or decreases. So we'll keep working on this. I think we've made a lot of strides in July. I think the bumps are getting lower, but we are working through that. So this will be the first report, and next month, or the next financial statement, which will be coming in on the 17th of August, will actually be in the packet. So Kathy's got her work cut out for her.
Are we still carrying some kind of balance in the Special Improvement District, the SID?
It is.
I know it's not active, but
It is. It should be closed, and of course we don't have an audit that closes 2020 yet.
oh, okay.
So it's likely it will be closed after we make the adjustments for the audit. We've scheduled the audit for September 7th meeting, just because we're working on a lot of financial issues. So.
Okay. All right, any other questions, comments? I would entertain a motion to approve the June financial statement.
So move.
Second.
Right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Black.
Yes.
Trustee Dallison.
Yes.
Trustee Joswick.
Yes.
Trustee Moreland.
Yes.
Trustee Politis.
Yes.
Trustee Cesaro.
Yes.
And Mayor Tarkington.
Yes.
All in favor.
All right, at this time, I'd like to move on to the public hearing for the August 19th block party. I'll go ahead and open up the public hearing now. So I think we have a little staff presentation. And
So we received their application. We've also received their fee. We would like the Board of Trustees to consider approval of this special event. It's the only block party we will have in 2021, which will be August 19th. And we did reach out to the Rotary for them to do that because they had just done the 4th of July. I do know that there's some nonprofits that aren't happy that we didn't throw the typical nonprofits in a hat and make a choice. But because it was such a short turnaround and because we're doing things a little bit differently, it's the only block party we've had in 2 years, I thought it was just important to move ahead. And Carol was here. She was part of the applicant, and
Yeah.
I'm sorry she must have left.
Is there an applicant here now?
Me.
Okay.
take off.
That's right, yeah.
Brenna's both hats.
We can go ahead and open it up for any public input. If anybody in the audience has anything to say about the Rotary Club's liquor license, we can address those comments or concerns now. Seeing none, does the board have any questions or comments?
Are we condoning a super spreader event?
It's outside,
Lori?
spread out.
You know,
Well, it's
I think I've thought about that too, but I think Lori ought to weigh in on that. What do you think, Lori?
I think there's precautions that anyone who's hosting an event can follow. This is outdoors. There could be changes between now and August 19th coming our way, which might change how people need to interact who are vaccinated or unvaccinated, wearing masks or not wearing masks. But right now, the advisory from public health, from San Juan Basin Public Health, is to mask indoors in public spaces. And it does not say to mask outdoors in public spaces. So, but again, that could change tomorrow depending upon new information that comes out. So I feel as if as long as the town is, or the Rotary hosting this event, the town is following the current advisories from Public Health, the CDC, the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment, then we're in good shape.
Okay, and I'll just follow up with the nonprofit discussion. I'll take the heat for that one. You can go ahead and send it my way. That was my idea. So I've smoothed some things over already with some of the nonprofits, but yeah, don't send them to Katie. I can address that one. Do we have any other comments from the board?
Happy to see a block party.
I'm
Yes.
recusing myself, so.
Yeah. So, well, it'll go to a vote here, but I'll just, if there's no other comments, I'll go ahead and close this public hearing and move on to our old business. Do we have any general public input pertaining to Resolution 493? All right, seeing none, we will move on to Resolution 493.
I would move that we approve Resolution 493 regarding the decorum policy.
Second.
Any discussion or comments on that? All right, roll call, please.
Trustee Black.
Yes.
Trustee Dallison.
No.
Trustee Joswick.
No.
Trustee Moreland.
No.
Trustee Politis.
Yes.
Trustee Cesaro.
Can you repeat the question?
It's Resolution 4, it's the decorum policy for.
Oh, sorry, thank you. No, I was just going through that application again. And the question is if we would like to adopt it?
Mhm.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes, is my answer.
Mayor Tarkington.
I'm a yes.
4 in favor, 3 against. Motion passes.
I know the discussion is that we don't feel like we should have to have that, but, you know.
Well, if nothing else, we just dispelled the rumor that we're
That
a
we're
yes
not a
board.
yes.
I wasn't in on the discussion on this because I missed the last meeting when we actually discussed it, but my personal opinion on it is that people come here to be passionate, so be passionate at that podium, and we will regulate as we see fit from there. So that's my personal opinion on it.
Mine was just that I don't feel like it's ever been really needed to be said.
I'm sorry, say again.
It's just not ever really been needed to be said. Like, you just don't need to say it. I've never seen
shouldn't have
anybody,
to, but-
I've never seen anybody really be way out of line.
Okay.
And I have seen people way out of line, so I would disagree.
Okay, moving on to new business. Do we have any general public input pertaining to agenda items A through D on the agenda? Seeing none, we will move on to the Pine River Centennial Rotary Club special liquor license.
I know it's a mouthful.
Not rodeo, Rotary. And Brenna will be recusing herself from a vote.
Yep.
So we had
I would
Public
move to
hearing?
approve the special event permit for the Pine River Rotary Club for the August 19th block party.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Black.
Yes.
Trustee Dallison.
Yes.
Trustee Joswick.
Yes.
Trustee Politis.
Yes.
Trustee Cesaro.
Yes.
And Mayor Tarkington.
Yes.
All in favor.
All right, moving on to our judge advertisement. Katie.
Yeah, I actually found the judge advertisement for 2011, and I just updated it. And then also provided the municipal code regarding the judge, so that's in there as well. It's not necessarily part of the advertisement, but maybe something you have or would like to see.
Yeah.
From what I understand, the compensation is not adopted by ordinance. It may be something you consider adopting as part of the municipal code. But you currently pay about $600, well, you don't about, it is $600 a month. There is, and I may have to defer to Marshall McIntyre regarding the time involved. Maybe the.
Yeah, do you mind, Joe, just giving an overview of the amount of time that the judge spends?
Depends depends.
Last year with COVID, it was completely different, obviously, because, you know, we probably went about, it's either 4 or 5 court sessions that we didn't have. And it can just depend on month to month. Probably at the most, we're talking about an hour for a court session unless we are going to a trial for some reason. That doesn't happen very often, but there is also many times that we're reaching out to him that we have to have agreement signed or get his input on a certain case that we may have coming before municipal court, kind of get some direction and feedback. So that's kind of the amount of time.
Do we have anything in there, let's just say, you know, the world gets shut down again do we have anything in there that says if we're not having court sessions, we don't have to?
So I'm gonna let maybe your attorney speak to that one. Or your marshal.
I'll let the attorney speak in. I mean, there is some issues that have to be addressed when it comes to speedy trial.
Okay.
So there are times when those things have to be addressed, and most of the time, you know, we come to agreement where our defendants that are supposed to appear in court waive that, and we never ran into any issues during the COVID period. So there is those possibilities of things like that we do have to address.
Attorney Goldman, do you have any?
Well, tailing off on Marshall McIntyre's statements, I would be real reluctant to limit a judge, especially when you're paying that person $600 a month, which is really not very much, but you really don't want to put that person in a position where they may be off on furlough for 3 or 4 months when you have issues that arise that need direct attention on a given month.
And there have been some occasions where we have scheduled a special session for our municipal court because we did have to address some issues in, say, maybe about a handful of cases since I've been here.
Sure.
But there has been such instances that have arose where we had to schedule a special court session.
Okay, thank you for the information and clarification.
In reading what you gave us, where bullet 3, where it says available now and then to coordinate with the marshal's office, I did have questions about that, but I assume those are what you just answered as far as how you coordinate with the judge.
Yes, and then also, and as Kathy can attest to, you know, when she was court clerk, again, there's a lot of conversations and emails that go back and forth, and again, signing paperwork and that type of stuff. Coordination and sending information to him on what the docket looks like for the next court period. So there is that interaction and stuff that, you know, that a lot of that tends to happen about a week before the next court session. It doesn't necessarily happen throughout the whole month, but that is the type of stuff that does happen. And so when we're saying now coordinating with the marshal's office, it's not only with me coordinating with him regarding cases, but now that the responsibilities have shifted to Amber, now being the court clerk, I mean, it's essentially all kind of in the marshal's office right now.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
I think if you say, you know, we don't want to do it if COVID or something happens and we're not going to hold session, and if you put that out there for them, we're going to get less people who are going to be interested in doing this.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, if everyone is comfortable with the job posting, I would,
May I ask a question?
yes.
When I'm looking at the bullet point, ability to hold court 1 day per month, and Marshall McIntyre just said, or it might have been said by a couple of you, that we might have more than one
There's
session?
a special session.
So should there be something in there stating that there could be special sessions? Because reading this, I would think that I only have to do this 1 day a month.
Do you,
I don't know if that makes a difference, but
Usually, I mean, well, since being here, I've only worked with 2 judges, and they've been pretty accommodating. Usually the judges have been pretty accommodating. Now, I don't, I don't deal with the judges on a regular basis in county court or district court, but I haven't ran into any issues with that popping up.
I would think it would be included in their contract once you sign them on. Is that correct? That there's a potential that there might be special sessions at some point? I mean, does it need to go in the advertisement?
It's certainly up to you. You could put, something to that effect. You did sign a contract with Judge Casey. My assumption is that will follow that same protocol. So you'll still be in charge of reviewing that contract before, and you do appoint the judge. That is not a position that I have any control over other than advertising.
So we
on
still
your
have
behalf.
time to negotiate later on, and I don't think it needs to be
just
on this
go ahead and
piece.
get the posting out if you're
Yeah.
comfortable with it as it stands. All right. I would entertain a motion to approve the municipal judge advertisement as provided.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Black.
Yes.
Trustee Dallison.
Yes.
Trustee Joswick.
Yes.
Trustee Moreland.
Yes.
Trustee Politis.
Yes.
Trustee Cesaro.
yes.
And Mayor Tarkington.
Yes.
All in favor.
All right, moving on to SGM Site Engineering for Cinnamon Heights.
So Jason Reimer, who is the SGM engineer, the town engineer, or the agency that is the town engineer, they've given us an estimate of $85,000. I would really like to make sure that we have that itemized, exactly what is in that $85,000 for site development. And so my recommendation is to make a motion, but it does have to be fully itemized, basically to proceed. If you ask for a bid from SGM, have it publicly acknowledged, and then go back out to bid because you're not happy with it, then you've left them, basically, they can't compete in the open market for that. You've just did an RFP for this town engineer. This may be, a first glance. The estimate for engineering the exit into Joe Stevenson Park was $220,000, just to give you an estimate of 2 different engineering firms. I thought that was a little bit high. I'm thinking that looking at some of the experience I've had, $85,000 is not out of line, because you still have got quite a few surveys and stormwater that you're going to have to deal with. That would include some irrigation portion of it, but we'd also be working with HOA as well for their review.
All right, how does the board feel on,
On a per lot cost or per unit cost, it's very affordable and really, you're talking about, less than $5,000 a unit in terms of development costs, engineering costs, and I think that's right in line with what it should be.
so it is I just want to see what the comfort level of the board is do you want to bring this back to the board after getting an itemized,
Yes.
detailed list to look
Yeah.
at it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, so that's option 2, right?
yes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for.
I'd like to make a motion to direct the town manager to require a detailed quote for Cinnamon Heights, lots 12 through 41, site development engineering from SGM, and bring the detailed quote back to the Board of Trustees for review and action.
I'll second that.
All right, any further discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Black.
Yes.
Trustee Dallison.
Yes.
Trustee Joswick.
Yes.
Trustee Moreland.
Yes.
Trustee Politis.
Yes.
Trustee Cesaro.
Yes.
And Mayor Tarkington.
Yes.
All in favor.
All right, moving on to Southwest Cog Broadband Grant Support. There is a letter attached, if you had a chance to look at it, page 79 of your packet.
So I've done a lot of discussions with broadband, and of course Miriam is usually my point of contact, and we were discussing this. She said, well, by the way, we have a grant that we're also applying for. Would you be interested in providing a letter of support? And because we were so close to this council meeting, I decided that it's up to the Board of Trustees to make that decision.
Questions, comments, thoughts, feelings?
Broadband, we need to support it however we can. Please support this.
Katie, are you looking for direction, or do we need to entertain a motion?
I would
on-
just ask for a motion for
Sure.
the mayor to execute this letter.
I would move that this motion, or a motion to approve this letter for broadband be signed by Ashley and forwarded.
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Black.
Yes.
Trustee Dallison.
Yes.
Trustee Joswick.
Yes.
Trustee Moreland.
Yes.
Trustee Politis.
Yes.
Trustee Cesaro.
Yes.
And Mayor Tarkington.
Yes.
All in favor.
All right, moving on to the discussion portion of our evening. We have our emergency preparedness plan.
So I'll let Joe kind of update you on where we're at with that.
So in my spare time, I still have been working on this, and Katie and I have had some discussions, but I still wanted to include Lori in on this, just so I could get her feedback and input. Lori and I had a conversation about 2 or 3 meetings ago to see if we could set up a meeting, and she advised that her role and her responsibilities with the pandemic were changing to where she was going to have more availability. And Lori and I have scheduled to have that meeting, and we'll hope to have a draft. Obviously, we're going to give it to town staff and Katie for them to take a look at and review, and then be coming back to you, to the Board of Trustees with a draft of that plan here shortly.
Okay.
All right.
Is Public Works involved in that at all?
They
You are?
will be,
Okay.
because they're gonna need to take a look at their role and what the plan shows as, their responsibilities. So kind of everybody's gonna have to take a look at pieces and
Okay.
sections and their roles and responsibilities and what that will be. So, everybody's gonna have some input on this.
Thank you.
Did you guys have your fire drill yet? Just checking.
The
fire drill.
The fire drill.
And an active shooter drill is something that we have planned, but I can't give you the date.
No, it's gotta keep you on your toes. I get it. All right, any questions, comments on emergency preparedness plan? We'll be seeing that coming down the line here in the future.
Yep.
All right, board reports.
Next week.
Nothing.
Senior Center met today.
Hey.
It was good. I'm like, I think we're moving forward.
Moving forward. I think we're getting places where. Well, we'll get it fixed. We'll get it solved.
Speaking of the senior center, the comment that they made earlier about the deposits being the same, if somebody could look into that and find out the reason why, I'd
The
really like to know.
deposit is, that's what we charge as deposit. It's not, it's money that we would refund. We've kind of talked about that today, is that, keep in mind that this is $100 for 52 Tuesdays and $100 for 52 Wednesdays. It's not just one day. And we will return it.
Right.
The goal is to not, call them up and say, oh, by the way, we have a broken coffee pot. Would you come sweep it up? The goal is to clean it up. If it takes us, 5 or 10 minutes, it's just a matter of easier management of getting the center back to use for the next user or
And
next rental.
I feel like it was a matter of semantics. I just feel like the deposit, that just triggers them. I feel like if we just said it was an insurance policy, a refundable insurance policy, it changed the whole dynamic of the meeting after.
So
Changing the
it
words.
wasn't extortion.
No. I mean,
Just checking.
just,
Tara was a little behind too, because they actually paid the deposit for Wednesday and Friday already.
yes. She had to leave early, so that was.
So is it every time that they use it, they have to put in
No.
a deposit? Or just
No.
one time
We
they
just
keep it
hold
on?
it one
It's on the
time.
books for
Gotcha.
every Tuesday.
That's what I thought, but I don't think they think that.
Well, we got there, and
Well,
that's
yeah.
why
Okay.
Carol,
Tried to
she
explain
had to
that a
leave.
couple
Okay.
So,
I was really confused.
So,
And I think their $50 and $100 discrepancy is because the parks and the like old middle school gym have a $50 deposit fee, but the Pine River Senior Center is $100. So they might be looking at the form wrong. I don't know, but there's never. I mean, it's been $100 for as long as I've ever known. So I don't know where they're getting the $50.
well, and keep in mind that if something happens, whether it's a baby shower or a wedding reception or whatever else, it's easier for us to know it's one amount and not, tell Jill, oh, by the way, these people get a special deposit rate and back and forth. And it's only a deposit. We're not keeping their money. It's the matter of, and I understand this is new, but it's the matter of if something happens, we just have a quick way to deal with it versus calling up somebody and saying, well, would you come clean up whatever it may be. And we have, it doesn't matter if it was the seniors or another user, we have had issues where we've had to clean it up, but unfortunately, it has not been managed very well.
and I just try to, keep reiterating that the board is on board with moving forward in that direction. That's the way that we want things managed, and this is what we're asking from everyone. Anyone that rents that center, anyone that rents the park, anyone, just fill out the same paperwork.
Streamlining the process.
Streamlining the process
Yes.
and making it
Everybody's accountable the same.
Yeah, and it's, and it's hard to sit there and listen and have them think that we're trying to run them out or we're hurting their feelings by asking this, but I'm asking them to also give a little bit and come our way a little bit, just because we want to make some changes, and I don't feel like it's a big ask, and I think we're bridging that gap. We're getting there. It was very productive today. So
Good. Pretty standard operating procedure to take a deposit for things in all of the public libraries I've worked in. You take a deposit for a space. It's what you do.
accountability and
Yeah.
All right. Anything?
Yeah, one more thing. Since the last meeting, David and I have not taken a field trip.
Oh, your
We
bromance
could, though.
walk. Your
But you're all
bromance.
invited.
That's why we haven't got any calls that anything was wrong around here. You guys didn't go out and find anything. All right, if we are all done here, I'll go ahead and adjourn this meeting. It is 7:15.
Whoa, 7:15? Sure.